Hello guys, welcome back to another reaction video here on Our Eyes Your Eyes. I'm ready to watch episode 8 of Baraou no Souretsu, Requiem of the Rose King. But before starting this video, I just want to remind you to subscribe to the channel, click on the notification bell, leave a like to support me, and join me in this adventure. Okay, in the previous episode we saw that Henry became the king, and this was so unexpected. Anyway, let's see what's going to happen. Are you ready to join me with this? Check it out. I told you that Henry was not agreeing with this. I think he did it for Richard, right? And these crows, they are all symbolizing... Oh! Harry! They are symbolizing something negative. I told you. No, it's because he doesn't want to do something like this. Warwick, I think you'll pay so soon. Exactly. Yeah, so you can take control of the palace in the meantime? That's what he wanted. This is a way to say, oh, we made you on throne, and then now it's time for us to rule here. No! That's what he wanted. No! In fact... No, it's because you really felt it. Look. George? Oh my! No, you are still in time to rebel! Oh, George, you're making a bad decision. See? No, you said yes, so now it's over for you too. You can't go ahead or against it anymore. Until something else is going to change your position, my dear. No, no. Enjoy now, because sooner or after it will not be the same thing anymore. But if you only knew George's position right now, oh, I think he's going to burn it in front of a Warwick, so it's another way to let him think that... Let's see if she can. Yeah, now brothers are already gone. The concept of brothers is... I don't think it would be easy. But I like her determination, yes. Oh! Who was that? No, Harry! If he only could hear her voice. Okay, okay. Then maybe they find a way to meet. If Harry can go to the forest, Richard too. Ah, I understand Harry so much right now. Maybe you can meet Richard once again. Let's hope it's not a trap, okay? Eh, eh. Now he's going to... Yes! But I hope Richard figures this out so she can come... Oh! Good job, Richard. No, otherwise you're going to become suspicious, so... Oh, ho, ho. Huh? Oh, no! Oh, now he's going to discover that Harry became the king. Oh! Please listen to him. Now he's going to protect her. Oh! Yes. No! No! Margaret, you are disgusting. Oh, that's disgusting, but it was pretty typical of that time, eh? Oh, this reminds me the ancient regime. Yeah, like Marie Antoinette and King Louis the 16th. Yeah, the same. They didn't even want to do anything, but they were forced. She still has, actually. And that woman is still a Richard. Are you sure? Okay, I like his determinants, but... Okay. Oh, they are fighting for him or her, I mean... What the F? And no, 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 and no, she is a woman actually. Exactly. No, no, don't speak for Richard. Actually, she loves her more than ever. I'm so happy that they met once again. I was expecting this. I hope that he will be able to come back. Who's talking? Oh, it's the same feeling that he or she had since the beginning. No, 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 don't listen to these voices. No, you're not alone anymore. No, don't listen to this. No, don't listen to all this. Go ahead, Richard. Oh, ho, ho, ho. Good job, Harry. And because he's living your same situation, more or less. Nah, you will see him other times, I guess. No, no, it's so good that you saw him. And she's happy too, don't worry about that. Yeah, no! Ah, no, I thought that they found Harry, so. Feelings should bring him here. Please don't tell me that she went away. Okay, okay. Oh, yeah, stay next to her. Oh, this moment is so precious. Yeah. These words are so meaningful. No, you shouldn't be alone anymore. No. Yeah, exactly. You enjoyed. No, it's not how to become weak. It's just to become strong, actually. Oh, no, no, she's going alone. Oh, no, 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 I have a bad, bad feeling. I think that when she will be back, Harry is gone. Yeah, but the problem is when you come back, I guess. Oh! Oh! No, he already knows you're a woman. Look! No, I think that. Don't worry, Richard. It's okay. Oh my! He knows. But he loves you anyway. No. No, 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 now he's going to rebel. No, no, no. Go away from him. Oh. Oh my. Exactly. No, no, no. No. Uh, you are. Oh my. Oh, let me tell you once again, I love this story. I'm so happy that I'm following it because it gives me great vibes and I really appreciate the way this story is going ahead. Let me go step by step as always. First of all, I want to talk about Warwick. Oh, look, I think Harry made a great mistake by giving him everything, but it depends how you see things. I mean, if you see things from a Warwick's perspective, you can say, oh, okay, this is so great because now I can control everything. Now I reached everything that I wanted. And this could be so great from his point of view. And of course, he thinks that by doing this, he tricked the Harry because now he's having everything under his control, etc., etc. But from a Harry's point of view, this is like a sort of liberation. I mean, it's like a way to reach freedom somehow because he doesn't even want to stay over there. In fact, the first scene was pretty brilliant because you see Harry that is looking at all these people, and all these people are like crows. I mean, they have these crows ahead, and you all know that crows are something negative. I mean, are representing something malevolent, something demonic somehow. I mean, the crow is used many times to reflect these sort of sensation, these sort of circumstance. So I think that even in this story, they are choosing the pretty nice symbols to let you understand what's going on. So if we check everything from Harry's point of view, we can say that Harry now is free from all these things that he has to control, he has to take under his dominion, etc., etc. I mean, it was like a way to escape. This is how I felt. And I think that Harry doesn't need to use this role he has to control others. That's not good for him. That's not something that goes on his side because Harry doesn't really want to become a king, doesn't really want to enroll these. I think that what he did in the previous episode by becoming the king was just a way to let Richard be safe, maybe. I mean, I think that he was thinking that by becoming the king he could solve all things, etc., etc. But once he found himself in that palace and he was feeling suffocated by this, he understood that maybe the only way was just to go away. And when Warwick was asking him, look, you need some time to spend outside the palace, you needed to go out and refresh your mind, I think that that was the proper occasion, the perfect situation to agree and to move away from this. So Warwick, for this time, made something good to him, indirectly speaking, because he doesn't even know that Harry really wants to go away from all these, and he's not perfectly fit for this role. Or I think he knows, and that's why he decided for him to become the king. So one day he knew that maybe this moment was about to come. That means that Harry would have felt tired, Harry would have felt as if he is not good for this role, etc., etc. So Warwick, by staying next to him, he could have gained this immense power by having this role instead of him. I was hoping, yeah, that Richard could meet Harry once again. I already told you many episodes ago that that was not the last meeting, and in fact I was right. But as you can see, we're digging inside these characters' personality, and I think it's so amazing. I think that the relationship Harry is having with Richard is something so pure, and at this point it goes even beyond this sexuality that I was explaining you last time. I think that right now, yes, they are attracted each other, but I think that it's even thanks to these feelings that Richard can discover who she is for real. And even if in this episode, once again, she is denying what she is and she can't even control anymore her feelings because they are overwhelming her. I think that it's thanks to Harry that she can make this path of recognition. So once again, this episode was pretty useful because of this. Richard, little by little, is getting in touch with her identity. She's a woman and she can't force herself not to be so. And I really like this because the more we go on, the more we are realizing that Richard is accepting her feelings, even if she's denying them from the words she's saying, but from facts. This is already a way to accept them. And in fact, even when there was this lake scene in which we see that there is this prostitute that is inside the lake and she is trying to temptate Harry, and then they escape, then they are talking a little bit together. You see in that scene that Richard's heart is exploding because of what Harry is saying. But I think that everything is so useful here. Yeah, for a certain reason, I thought that Harry was understanding that Richard was a woman, but I still don't understand if I'm right or wrong, because when he was immersing himself into the lake, I thought, okay, he's seeing her from the backside, but everything is okay, because he already knows that she's a woman. I mean, he could detect this from some way she's talking, or from the movements she's making, or from the beauty of her face. So maybe I was convinced that that was the answer. But at the same time, when he's talking to Richard later and they are sitting under a tree, does this make me understand that he knows this or not? Yeah, in that scene in particular, it seems that he doesn't know still that she's a woman. But I don't know if she's saying something like this because he wants that Richard, little by little, is trusting him. But sincerely, Harry, in that scene, he's talking about her as if they are friends. And he's also saying, if I have a friend like you, I don't need to love anybody else. What if one day he will discover that he is a woman? I want to see his reaction, because from that reaction we will understand if he imagined this or if he got in touch with some hints that made him understand that he is a woman actually, or not. Anyway, I can't wait for that moment, because that moment will come for sure, and maybe it will be a disillusion for Harry, because maybe he thought that Richard was a man, or maybe it was a confirmation of his love instead. I really like in this episode when Harry is talking about love and desire. These are two different things, of course, and sometimes they can combine each other, and some other times they can take you to a different path. One path is sex and the other path is love. From this episode you understand the background story of Harry and how that was a trauma to him. Also, the fact that he was hearing his mother making love with other men, and by accepting other men and offering her body to them, that was simply disgusting. Of course, to let these child see these things, because yeah, it's creating a mental trauma, and I can really understand Harry's suffering, Harry's pain, Harry's will to detach himself from this world, because only when he's alone he can perceive freedom, he can understand that loneliness sometimes is even better than being surrounded by people, because if these people are bad, then these people are going to influencing him in the worst way by creating these mental thoughts inside his mind that are creating this pressure inside his brain and inside his heart, by reaching this moment in which he's exploding. So I really like how in this story this trauma was represented, because actually it seems as if women, yeah, are so-called demons. But then when Harry is saying, no, I don't think that women are demons, and in fact I agree with him, because not all women can be so malevolent. It depends where you go and the people you meet. But he didn't have a choice at that time, because that was his mom, and he couldn't get rid of her because that was his mom. It was not like a normal person you see on the street and then you can avoid her, right? So this was even more painful, because he had to accept this role of a mother that was simply disgusting, because she didn't even care about him, and at the same time he had to handle that situation by himself. But as I was telling you many episodes ago, I think that Richard and Harry, they have so many things in common, and both of them, they had this figure of the mom that was definitely something wrong to their existence, even if it was for some different ways or some different reasons. But I think that all this suffering can let them get in touch with each other and experience a different kind of feeling that is starting as a friendship. But as you can see, the more we go on, the more Harry is dedicating her lots of beautiful sentences, poetic sentences, as much as Richard is exploring her feelings, her hormones as a woman, her sexual attraction to him. That is, I want to remark this, not just sexualized, but I think that she's getting in touch with him even mentally speaking, because of the things that she is having in common with him, as much as I was telling you. So it's something deeper than just having a sexual affair and stuff like this. I think between Harry and Richard there is something really intense, and I love how much Richard was admitting her feelings in front of herself first, because she was just saying, I love Harry, and this was a way to admit her own self and her own feelings. Another thing I wanted to say is that I really like how in this anime they are representing symbols, as I was telling you, and in fact when Richard is alone by herself, she's surrounded by these malevolent voices, tricky voices inside her head telling her that she's wrong, that she's not good for nothing. I mean, all these bad stuff that keep repeating inside her head. She was always like that. I mean, since the beginning she was thinking that she had to stay inside of the forest, because the forest was her place, a place in which she could find herself, because she was described as something demonic. But as you can see, as soon as she's thinking all these mixed feelings that are pretty wrong and pretty bad, you see that when Harry is coming, okay, he's coming with a cross, and this makes you understand how religious they were at that time, and I already explained you this, but at the same time you see that it's like a sort of light of hope for her path. So I think that this combination, this relationship that is starting more and more, it's something really useful to Richard too, to let her understand that all those voices are saying, they're meaningless, because until she's deciding to listen to these voices, she can let them keep talking. But once she's refusing to listen to them, everything seems to be so peaceful. And I really like this. Then another thing I wanted to say is how amazing Richard's face is, how smiley her face is when she's with Harry, because the more she's getting in touch with him, the more she can't get rid of him. It's something that is called love, but the way in which Richard is discovering these feelings more and more and more, yeah, I think that this path of feelings is something really amazing, and this reminds me Violet Evergarden somehow, because even in her case, Violet didn't know what love was, and she was struggling to find an answer until the end of this story, in which she's recognizing what love is, this deep attachment between two people that can go beyond everything. This parallelism makes sense, as much as, of course, the parallelism with the Rose of Versailles, but just to let you understand in a different way what Richard can feel. This is something great, and even this discovery of feelings, because you think that you're not something, or you think that you're not available to get in touch with these pure and simple feelings, but at the same time, yeah, you are allowed to, because you are a woman, and or you are a man, no matter the gender. I think that these feelings of love can reach everybody. But yeah, when Richard was telling him, oh, do you see that demon too? I think that that was another thing they had in common, no matter the fact that that was just a wolf. But I think that both of them are experiencing lots of suffering moments. That's why Harry could see this malevolent figure that is the wolf, that is another representation of the devil somehow. Yeah, I think that Harry at that time was just understanding, because even Harry has these voices inside of his head, as if he's a good for nothing, as if he can't control anything, as if he can't do anything to solve things, and that's why he prefers to escape. But these voices are not just inside Richard's mind, but I think that they are cursing even Harry's mind, and that's why when they are finding themselves below that tree, that was so nice, because it was in that moment in which they felt alone, but at the same time they could share these feelings together. This is so emotional and so pretty, and this is another reason why these stories are taking inspiration from the Shakespeare's Henry VI, because Shakespeare had always this great way to convey feelings through poetry, through poems too, through tragedies, to comedies and whatsoever. But I think that you can see this Shakespearean's taste somehow, even if it's not directly connected to the poem, but these influences that are still present here are quite evident, in my opinion. Even when Harry was saying that thing of the sky or of the stars, yeah, this is a great touch of Shakespeare, in my opinion. Another thing I want to say is that Anne is struggling with her feelings too, because thanks to Edward, the Lancastrian Edward, she's getting in touch with the fact that, yeah, Richard may be a woman, so these can put everything in discussion. Even her feelings are discussed or judged by herself here, because she has never thought that she could have been a woman, but at the same time she has to face the truth, because Edward is let her face this truth suddenly, and she can't even understand what to do anymore. But I think that Anne is the perfect example that love can go beyond the gender. Love is just feelings, and you can't control them, no matter if that was a woman or a man. And that's why I think that Anne will not stop loving Richard at all. I think that once she will be awakened from this shocked moment that she could have had, she will not stop loving Richard. Maybe she will love him in a different way, who knows? Or maybe we will see this great determination that Anne has to conquer her heart. Richard is followed by so many people, as you can see, Harry, Anne, Edward, and even Gatsby, somehow, let me tell you. But this means that Richard is not alone anymore. She's surrounded by lots of love, and she just has to decide where to go, sincerely. Maybe she can also stay alone by herself, but I think that one day she will choose, and we just have to accept her choice, no matter what. No matter if she's deciding to love Anne, Harry, or Edward. But let me tell you, I don't think she will ever love Edward, sincerely, because no matter how much he's trying to do so, I think Richard can't love the son, but at the end of the day can love the father instead. As much as Anne, I think the two candidates, the real candidates, are Anne and Henry till now. Then let's see what's going to happen, because there are so many other episodes coming, so nothing is so certain until we reach the end of the story. But yeah, I think that that moment was really, really nice, because you could see that even Anne is confused. Even Anne doesn't know where to go anymore. Even Anne doesn't know if she can accept the fact that Richard is a woman or not. These thoughts that are making a person confused are so clear and so transparent, because they are so evident, and I really like that. As much as I think that the scene in which we see Edward discussing with Anne, or the fact that they were forced by Margaret to have sex so they could create a hair or a hairness and stuff like this. Yeah, this reminds me of the ancient regime in France, because even over there, you know that by following Versailles Novara, I mean the Rose of Versailles, but by following even history, you know that at that time people were forced, thanks to combined marriages, to have sex because of what these previous generations were demanding them to do. And this was a way to force them, not just physically speaking, but even psychologically speaking. Everything was forced because the most important thing was to create a descendants. And this was pretty disgusting. Even Margaret, look, I want to say this once again, these female characters that are so bad. We can have the example of Richard's mom, Margaret, Elizabeth, even Henry's mom, all these figures, female figures that are considered so demonic. Even Richard at the beginning was considered as a demon because he was a woman, and by denying her existence, she was feeling better. But yeah, these impositions, the fact that women are treated like this, and they also treat people so badly like this. Wow, in this story you see that as if the female character is controlling everything. And I already explained you what I meant, because many centuries ago it was actually the opposite from what we know, but we were not there, so we don't know if what was said in history books it was correct or not. But in this story, the author is making you understand that the women's power is controlling men, is controlling everything, in the worst way, of course. But there are even some lights of hope, like for example Anne or Richard in this case, that can divide. I mean, they can make a difference between female characters who wanted to be demonic and other female characters who are having great feelings for others, who are struggling for their rights, and who are strong enough to dig inside their feelings. Sincerely, if you ask me which one I love the most, is the side that I was telling you a few seconds ago. I really admire Anne, I really admire Richard, and I think that the result will be so amazing. But yeah, when they were forced like this, as I was telling you during the reaction, it reminds me of Marie Antoinette and Louis XVI, because at that time they were not loving each other at all. They didn't like each other. I mean, the king loved the queen because she was really pretty at that time and she was really attracting. But on the opposite side, Marie Antoinette didn't like the king. She was really reluctant to try to have an approach with him. She didn't want to create anything with him because she couldn't feel anything. But then we know that Marie Antoinette will accept this marriage no matter what, and in the meantime she's going to have lots of lovers. One of them is Fersen. But those things some centuries ago that were made were simply disgusting, also because Marie Antoinette and Louis XVI, before even becoming the king and the queen, they were teenagers. I mean, they were 14 years old, and this makes you understand how these old generations, previous generations, they wanted to be mischievous and tremendous with these new generations by forcing them to have sex and to create these descendants without any sort of feelings. So I'm wondering even what they could transfer to these new generations as feelings. But we all know, on the other side, that Marie Antoinette really loved her kids. And this was something great. Try to imagine if it was something else. That moment reminded me this. And it didn't happen just in the ancient regime, but in many other countries, in many other empires at that time, it was like this. You were forced to marry what the previous generation told you to marry. It was something necessary for the peaceful agreements between countries. So these marriage were seen as tools, as a way to connect countries and to make contracts between those countries. So there were no feelings at all over there, but it was just a way to create something convenient and something necessary for the policies of those countries. George, look, you're still in time to rebel about all these things. I hope that at the end of the day you will be able to go against Warwick and against all these things that are happening, because the Brotherhood here is disappearing totally because of the power of the throne, the power of the crown. So, George, look what you're doing right now. Okay, that Richard is coming to try to convince him, and I hope that she will be able to do so. Maybe she can help him escape from all these. Fingers crossed, but I hope that George will not be tricked by all this scenario, because this will create a disadvantage for him specifically. So I think that it's better if he keeps thinking instead of making decisions based on words, because once he said yes, it was yes, so there's no turning back. That's why I hope that he has to think more instead of speak more, because once everything is told, you can't go back anymore. Okay guys, let's see what's going to happen with episode 9 next week of Baraou no Souretsu. In the meantime, feel free to subscribe to the channel and click on the notification bell. Bye guys, see you in the next video.